Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today I have one of my vintage sewing machines out, and that's because I broke my Singer patchwork, or rather it broke on me. I have been sewing really a lot on it lately. I've been on vacation this week, and it's a staycation. We're at home, and I was catching up on some sewing and decided to make some pillow tops, and so I was quilting those, and then I started quilting on my daughter's Lady Liberty quilt, and that's when I had problems. And I got a C4 error, which according to the manual means you probably have a thread caught in your bobbin case area, which I didn't. I took it all apart and there wasn't anything in there but a little bit of lint, and it wasn't very much because I had just cleaned it out about a week before. So I kept trying and kept trying, unplugged it, plugged it back in, tried again, still wouldn't work. So my husband looked at it, and we wound up opening the case to see, because according to my research online, it could also have been a belt loose, or it could be the clutch in the hand wheel could have been causing it, could have been stuck. And I had been winding a bobbin right before this happened, so I thought, well, maybe that's the case. It wasn't. There wasn't anything wrong with it. There wasn't anything wrong with the belts. There's two belts in the machine, and they were both fine. They were both seated where they needed to be. But I did notice when I was turning the hand wheel that it was really, really tough to move it. So I decided that I do too much sewing for a machine like the Singer patchwork anyway, because I do quilt with it as well as sew, and I just need something a little more heavy duty anyway, so I'm gonna look for a new machine. And in the meantime, we went to the storage unit and we pulled out the Singer. This is a 1947 Singer 1590. It's not a 91 because it has an electric motor on the back. It doesn't have a potted motor, it just has the regular electric motor. And let me adjust the camera so you can see that. So it's just a regular motor. And I was wanting to get my 1591 out, the one that I'm used to sewing on the most, but it was in a location that was going to be really hard to get to. It was sitting behind my long arm table, and that thing is about 500 pounds, and my husband and I cannot move it together. We need male muscle power, not male and female. I'm just not strong enough to help with that. So he needed a buddy here, and there wasn't anybody available. So I'm going to use the 1590. I need to clean it up because it's dusty from sitting in storage, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew on it. Now, one advantage to this is that it's got a larger harp space, so it's going to be easier to get in there and do things like change the needle. That one thing about the Singer patchwork that I did not like is that there was no room to get your hand in there. I couldn't anyway get my hand in there, and my hands aren't big. I mean, I don't have a large hand actually, but it was hard to get in there and loosen the screws on the throat plate, or to change the needle. All that stuff was difficult. So this is a 1590 from 1947, and it does have reverse. And I haven't sewn much with this. I just kind of tested it out when I got it, and we'll see how this will work. This will work for me well. The numbers on the plate here on the front, let me show you this, and I'll adjust the camera so you can see that. Okay, right in here there's numbers that tell you how many stitches per inch, so you just adjust your lever according to how many stitches per inch you want. They're worn off. They're engraved in there, but they used to be white, I believe, so they just need to be paint it on or something. But it really doesn't matter. I can just go by, you know, the look of the stitch. So I'm just going to use this. I think it'll be fine. And I need to make sure the bobbin winder works because I no longer have a bobbin winder, but I do have a pretty full bobbin in here. So I'm just going to start cleaning this up, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you what I'm doing with this because I don't have the ability to do any sewing at the moment until I get this cleaned up. So I'm going to turn the camera, move it a little bit so that you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay, so basically I need to dust it off and I need to oil it. And so I have my oil. This is just Singer oil that I bought at Joann's, and I have a rag. So I'm just basically gonna just dust it off right now. I already plugged it in and turned it on and made sure it ran, but I didn't want to run it too long because it needs to be oiled before I do any amount of sewing on it. But I just wanted to make sure it worked because our storage unit does not have electricity. It was just kind of a guess as to whether this thing was working or not. So, and it's not really been in storage that long, but it has been in there a while. So this is middle of May. It's been in since middle of November. So about 6 months. So let me check on the bottom. Now I have several vintage sewing machines. So I have two 1591s, I have a 99, a 66, and I have two 1590s. So this is a 1590, and then I have a 301A, and then a 927, I think it is. It's a Fashion Made or something like that. Okay, now this was in a cabinet, but when we went to store things, it was too awkward and heavy to move these inside the cabinet. So I took them all out and we moved the cabinets and the machines separately. So it was easy to get to the machine head. I just could not get to the table. And you know, that's fine. This will work for a while anyway, until I can get a new machine. So if you have any suggestions for a good machine that will handle machine quilting and has, you know, zigzag capability, because I need a zigzag and I need a blanket stitch. Those are my most, as well as a straight stitch. I would get a just another straight stitch machine, but I have these, so I really don't need a straight stitch machine. But those, like the Juki's, that I think they're 2010 line, those are supposedly really good machines, but they're all straight stitch only. So I don't need that, because I have several machines that can do just straight stitch. What I need is something that has some decorative stitches with it. Okay. And I have to wash my brush when I get done because it is very dirty. So I'm going to get some Q-tips out too. Let's put a handful of them down here. And I have a manual open on my computer, but I can't see it from here, so I don't know the exact oiling points. But I do know there probably needs to be oil any place the machine moves, any place the parts are movable. So right now I'm just trying to get in and get the lint out like that, and oil helps. I'm going to work on the bobbin area here. And yeah, there's lint in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the, well, raise the needle before you take your bobbin case out. And let me get a screwdriver. Oh, here. This one's a little bit high, so let me see. I kept the accessory box to the Singer patchwork machine. Kept it handy in case I needed something out of here, so let's see if this key will be helpful. Okay, I got this screw loose. I had to get in here and just work with it. Kind of get it right above it. Now I can get it loose. Haven't been able to get the other one loose yet. It's one thing I needed to look for in storage was my tool kit for my long arm machine, because it has my screwdrivers in it. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, now I got it going. That's one of the things when we were working on the patchwork machine is we really didn't have the tools that would have made it easier to open the case, get the screws out. We didn't have those, so. Okay, so I'm going to take this plate off, and you can see this is really dirty underneath, which is one of the reasons I did not want to sew on this until I got it cleaned out. Now, I have not sewn with this machine. I don't think this is one I sewed with, other than just testing it out. I used the 1591. I think. And some sites will tell you to clean with alcohol, and the alcohol will evaporate. And they probably will tell you not to use canned air, because that will just blow lint into places it does not need to be, and it can be harmful to the machine. So I've never used canned air on any of my machines. I don't use it on my long arm either. I know a lot of people do and have no problem with it. So it's just up to you. I want to tip it and see if I can see back further. It would be helpful to have a light on my glasses or something so I could see better. I'm not getting much out of there. Okay, let me get my screwdriver out of the way. Okay. I'll bring that needle up. Yeah, there's lint under here, so I guess I should take this off if I can. Which I may not be able to. Let me see if I can. Okay, see, that was underneath the feed teeth. There's another little piece right there. I'll get that out. Another thing I can do is to take off this plate here. Use this screwdriver. Now, the machine is not plugged in case you're worried about that. It is not plugged in. I had it plugged in earlier and I tested the light and the motor, make sure it ran, and it did, and I just turned it off and unplugged it. Okay, got a different screwdriver. Let's see if this will fit. Yeah. Okay. Okay, all right, so we do have some lint in there. I'm gonna move a little bit so I can see. Yeah. This even has a piece of Velcro in it. There's the hook part of Velcro, which I know I have not sewn Velcro with this machine, so I'm not going to take credit for that one. It's amazing what can get stuck in these machines. So if you buy an old one, take it apart and clean it, see what you can find, because you will find lint there's so much lint in there, it's like felted almost. It'll look felted, so, and that's good for your machine. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I need to get in there further, so I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to turn the machine so I can see. The take-up lever has some on it back here. Now there isn't a whole lot of mechanics in this machine in this area, so it's got the needle bar and the bar that goes to the presser foot and the take-up lever. So really not a whole lot of stuff going on in there. I'm just going to go all the way around that and make sure I've got as much lint out of there that I can get, and probably getting some old oil. There's the thread cutter there, and we'll go on the back side. Okay. And I'm going to rotate, put that needle bar in the lowest position so I can make sure I've got that in all areas. I'm going to lower the presser foot. That loosens that spring. Now Now there is a wick right here. Right there's a wick. And you can change that out. I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple drops of oil in it. I'm going to put 2. You're only supposed to have to do 1, I believe, but I'm going to go ahead and put 2 since this has been, really hasn't been used in a long time. So, and I'm going to go look at my manual and see where it all needs to be oiled, and then I'll get right back to you. Now I have the instructions on where to oil, and there's lots of locations to oil, and the manual I downloaded is very small, so it's just a photocopy of the original manual, and that's the size the manuals came in. They were little tiny little pocket manuals. Apply oil to the shuttle race. Okay, so we're gonna go, okay, I already did here, and it says to put oil in here, which I find a little strange because I thought this was the pressure thing. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put a drop of oil in each one of these holes, and these are for, they lubricate parts inside the case of the machine. And then there's a point right there. I'm thinking maybe in here even. And it's really hard to tell on here, but I think just right there. Okay, so that is the top, and then in the back here, loosen this and swing that out of the way. There's parts in there to reach. And I'm going to turn this so I can see. Okay, maybe that's a wick right there. Thought maybe there's some lint in here, but I don't think that's lint. I think that is a wick maybe. But I don't know if this will fit in here. It won't fit in there to reach it. So we're going to do that. And then there's a spot right here. Let me see if I can show you what I just did. Now, if you have a machine and you can see me like this, you know what you're doing, and I'm doing it wrong, just let me know. I won't be offended. Okay, there is what looks to be a wick right in here. And then there's a spot right here where those two pieces of metal reach. So that needs to be oiled. And that's, and then right here. And since I don't have an extension, a bottle with an extension on it, I'm just putting a lot of oil on my, okay, a lot of oil on my Q-tip and rubbing it in there. And then on this piece here, there's a long shaft right there. So I got that. On back here, do some dusting back in there. Okay. Now the motor also needs to be lubricated, and I'll have to go get some and put that in the motor, and there's a spot here and here. which I believe needs to be done. Now I need to oil the bottom of the machine. And let's see if I can find all the spots where this needs to be oiled. And there are, looks like 101 places where you need to oil. Right there. I really need to find my oiling bottle that has the extension on it. It's hard to get just one drop of oil out of this. Okay, this is showing 5 different points. Okay, we're going to do this again. Just saturate that Q-tip as much as it'll hold, and then rub it on the spots that need it. And when you turn your flywheel, you can see where things move. So a lot of times that's where it's wanting you to put oil, is where things are moving. I think it's ready. I do want to lubricate the motor, but I'll put this back together and then I'll show you how I thread it and maybe do a little test run on it so you can see it, and I won't do any major sewing on it until I can get the lubricant for the motor. Okay, one of the things after, when these machines are in a cabinet, there's usually a wooden skirt that will catch any oil that's dripping. Now I don't have it in its cabinet, so it's going to be dripping oil probably on my table. So I'm going to have to put a towel or something underneath that so I don't get my table all full of oil. And I will do that in just a little bit. And this is one of those things that you can make yourself a little placemat type thing for your sewing machine to sit on. It doesn't want to go in very easily. I might have the wrong screw in it. Oops, that one's definitely the wrong screw. plug it in. I'm going to put the bobbin in first. Okay, and let me get some thread. See if I can remember how to thread it. There we go. Okay, now this needle, this has an old needle in it. So let me put a new needle in there because that thing is in bad shape. Okay. It's an 80-20 needle. Okay, on this machine, the flat part of the needle, this part here, the flat part goes to the left. So you'll be threading this needle from right to left. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in. If I can keep it straight. There it goes. Okay, tighten that. And then thread the needle. Of course, there are no needle threaders on these machines. But there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up the bobbin thread. And pull the threads underneath the presser foot. Okay. Now I'm going to plug in the machine and turn it on. Okay, the presser foot, I want to show you the presser foot. This is the presser foot that came with this machine. You rest your foot on here and then you kind of roll it. Now this is made so that you can put it in the cabinet and you can use a knee lever and that would hit, this is the button that will make the machine run. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down and I'm going to rest my foot on here and then we go this way. So I'll put this on the floor and we did rewire this presser foot, so this should be good. Light is here, just turn on right there. This is the regular foot and I'm not even sure how many stitches per inch I've got here, so. Okay, it's in reverse. There we go. And this is on a really short stitch length. So no needle up and down, no luxuries on this machine. It's basically straight stitch only, nothing else. This is, I got it at a good stitch length. I have no idea what this is. But anyway, I don't even know if you can see that. Okay, let's see, maybe this blue will show up a little better. Okay, that's a little better. So here we go. If it will, I don't know if it's focusing in on that or not. And I am tangled here. Here we go. Okay, see those stitches? They're not bad. There's it's probably about 12 stitches per inch. So that'll work. The bobbin side, right there. So it's doing pretty good. So let me zoom in a little bit. Throat space, I told you I would measure that so you know how much space there is. So I'll go from the bottom to the needle. The needle's there, 7 inches. So that's quite a bit more than my patchwork machine. That was maybe 4. So it's almost double. So I'm happy with that. Machine looks good. I basically just want to get some lubricant and lube the motor, and then I'll be ready to go. If you have any questions on this machine, on the 1590 or the 1591, they're really similar other than the motors are different. And I have not tried the bobbin winder yet. I'll have to do that. I need to find, I'm going to have to buy some class 15 bobbins. I have the one in the machine right now, but my other bobbins are in storage, and I did not come across those while we were digging through to pull out a machine. So I'm going to have to go buy some more. And the ones I have for the Singer Patchwork are a 15J, so they're not the right size. So I'll have to go get those, run to the store and get them, and while I'm getting the lube for the motor. And then I'll get started on another project. I'm actually going to be quilting the Lady Liberty quilt. So I know my daughter was expecting this about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm still not done, but I couldn't help this delay. So I will get started on that, hopefully get it finished and get it to her so she can have it. I'll show you some pillow covers I made for her. That's it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed watching me clean this machine and get it threaded and test it out. That is it for this video, and if you like this video, please click that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video comes up. And in the meantime, I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.